It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. Won't you be my neighbor? It's been a long time, 8-9 weeks since our last video. Lots happened. Most of you are like, you know what? I don't even think that you're selling your house anymore. I mean, I don't know what's going on. This CV stuff is just nuts. You guys are pretty much going to see exactly what's happened over the last 2 months, 2.5 months. That has just been nuts. Just craziness, I'm telling you. It's tested our patience. It's tested, our sanity. This is unheard of. It is something so out of the ordinary. I'm not going to get into it because this video isn't about that. That's in our next video, saying goodbye to the homestead, which we're going to end up talking about literally everything that has happened and breaking it down. You're going to want to see it because you're going to be shaking your head going, you've got to be kidding. This is the last honey extraction that we are taking from the homestead. We were going to leave all the honey for the buyers, but unfortunately all of our bees died. A lot of these boxes were mainly empty, but at the end of the season, in fall, I always leave, if I extract, I always leave a good portion of the honey in for the bees, along with supplemental feeding. And they didn't consume all the honey. So what you're gonna see is what we get out of the boxes that we left behind. The main reason is we have a lot of pesticides and a lot of spraying going on because we have tree farms that are surrounding us. We have power companies that have easements within 1,000, 1,500 feet of us, and we have actually caught them spraying our Scotch broom on our property, which is the pollen source for our bees. And spraying the Scotch broom around the power lines is what they do in order to make the power lines accessible if they have to do any work on them. But anyhow, you guys check us out. Check out what we got going on here, and you'll see exactly what we do from the start to the finish, and hope you enjoy it. Let's get to it. This is a kind of a happy and a sad time. This was one of our strongest hives. I wish there was a way that we could do something to the, to the people out there spraying pesticides, killing all of our bees. But unfortunately, there's no control. Yeah. Sweet nectar from the gods. Oh, and if you guys don't know, one thing that goes along with beekeeping is mice. And you're normally supposed to have cats that take care of the mice or chickens, but I think these guys are buddies. The cat's licking them off. Like, this is the best damn taste of mouse I've had.
Look at it.
There we go. And here's the difference also. You have light comb here. Light comb is new comb. You have dark comb here. That means that this is an older comb. And honey tastes just as good either or. Oh, and if by chance you don't have enough friends in your life, start raising bees, because once you raise honey, everybody wants to be your friend. Okay, basically what I'm going to show you now, what we do. Doesn't mean it's the right way, and there's a lot of you out there that raise bees and you have your own way. But we are doing things a little bit awkward right now because we are all packed up, ready to go. So we're making do with what we got. So what we normally do is we have what's called a hot knife. You know, you plug it in, pretty much just slice the caps of the comb off, and you know, it makes it really clean to where you don't have a lot of excess wax in your filtration when it comes time to sift it out. But because we are at this stage of moving, fork, okay, and all we're really going to do is take the fork, scratch the caps. Once the caps are scratched, out comes the honey, and you might have to do it, you know, a couple of times. No big deal. Now, if you guys want to see anything in the way of beekeeping, how to catch swarms, how to maintain your bees, the two that I always seem to go to, because they are, you know, pretty much very knowledgeable and likable individuals, is 628 Dirt Rooster. I just found out that he's following our journey. So, peace, brother. And Kamonreynolds. If you guys need any queens, they sell honey products. Most importantly, they will assist you, which is really cool. So once the caps are scratched open like so, what I do is I take and I put them down inside the spinner with the scratch side facing the walls of the container. Let me just show you here what we got going on. This is a honey extractor that we ended up renting. Go ahead and show down in there. All right, as you can see down in here, all along the outer edge, it's domed in the center, draws the honey towards the edges. And this is pretty much what's going on down in there. Julie's holding the camera here. Okay, guys, I just wanted to take another moment here to say there's a reason it says caution. Don't operate without the lids. I'm one of the idiots that didn't follow the instructions with my own personal spinner, because it doesn't have a lid to it, because it's a hand-me-down. and you can catch your fingers in the mechanism, and pain hurts. So, and this is getting really hard to turn, which means the bottom is filled with honey, and I'm just stirring honey. So we'll take a break here. We're gonna have to drain some honey. Well, that was a workout. That was a lot more work than I expected today, because honestly, I really didn't expect to find that much honey. And this manual unit, 15,000 revolutions later, we pretty much got it accomplished. And you know, beekeeping is a great hobby, and it can be a great business if you take it serious. I actually, before we decided to leave this lunatic state, I was trapping swarms as fast as I possibly could. This swarm is bigger than what originally showed, so I'm just wondering if there's more than one swarm here. And the way that they keep coming back and landing, I mean, seriously, look at this. I got a swarm to come in. This hive absconded, and I purchased some swarm bait. This is a thing of beauty right here. Look at that. I mean, this is bigger than my older hive over there. This is a monster swarm. And trying to split my hives as quick as I could, and trying to learn all of that. And I can tell you that, you know, it's honey is one of those products that is a commodity that will always be in demand. And the honey that's being sold around our parts here, a pint's going for $6 to $8, and a quart's going for $10 to, I think I've seen as high as $15.
I'll behave. We're going to run this through a couple more times. You can see a little specialness, a little pollen still on the top. We got the majority of everything out. That one there hasn't been filtered as much as this one here. So we're going to continue on. And I wanted to show you one thing. Remember yesterday how I was talking about the cost of honey around here? Look at this. You're gonna laugh. See this little jar? What size of jar is this, honey?
I don't know.
What is this? Oh, what do we got here? These are 12. Oh, this is a quarter pint. Okay. Quarter pint. Can you see the sticker? $4. $4 will make you holla. Know what I'm saying? So, in other words, self-sufficiency enthusiasts, bees, honey, yes.
This is something that Julie ran across, and we were actually kind of surprised about it because we did not know this, but were you aware that babies less than 1 year old can get seriously sick from eating honey? Honey contains C. botulinum bacteria, which can produce a toxin in a baby's large intestines, leading to a rare but serious illness known as infant botulism. Unfortunately, infant botulism is not very common, and infant botulism due to honey is even rare. But the FDA recommends waiting until your baby is 1 year old to feed them the sweet treat. I've known people to give honey treats to babies, but that doesn't mean that it's, that it isn't potentially dangerous. I can tell you that reading this article, which, let's see if I can whip through it really quick to give you some brief information on what the doctors are saying. While most adults can eat honey without problems, it's a different story for babies less than 1 year old. Honey contains C. botulinum bacteria, which can produce a toxin in a baby's large intestine, leading to a rare but serious illness known as infant botulism. This is C. botulinum. It's a bacterium that can produce one of the world's most lethal substances. It lives in lots of places, including the soil, pollen, dust, and also right here in honey. So why haven't you died from eating this sweet treat? Well, because you're not a baby. As C. botulinum grows, it produces a toxin called botulinum. It's the same stuff used in Botox. That's right, ladies. But Botox has an extremely low dose compared to infected food. In large amounts, the toxin would attack your nervous system, causing the illness known as botulism, which can lead to paralysis and even death. And since C. botulinum is so common in our environment, researchers believe that bees pick it up on their way to the hive where they produce honey. One study found C. botulinum bacteria is about 8% of their honey samples, but before you purge your pantry, before you throw out all this good nectar from the gods, consider this. Normally when we encounter C. botulinum, like in honey, it's dormant. And in this sleepy state, it can't produce the toxin, even if you eat it. That is, unless you're less than 1 year old. When C. botulinum enters a baby's large intestine, it comes alive because unlike children and adults, babies less than 1 year old haven't been eating real solid foods. Instead, they drink milk. But when babies are around 4 to 6 months old, they stop drinking human milk and they start eating other foods they've never had before. As a result, their gut microbes change very abruptly. And it's during this transition period in the baby's gut that the lethal C. botulinum bacteria are free to grow and produce the toxin. As the toxin enters the baby's bloodstream, it blocks the ability of motor nerves to release acetylcholine, a chemical messenger that sends nerve signals to muscles. As a result, the baby starts to lose control of muscles and appears tired and floppy. Scary. As more toxins enters the bloodstream, the muscles that control swallowing and breathing stop working. Very scary. Fortunately, infant botulism is not very common, and infant botulism due to honey is even rare. Fewer than 100 cases occur in the U.S. each year. Still, 100. I'd hate to be in that percentile range. Eesh. And while it's difficult to pinpoint the source of the bacterium in many cases, experts think honey accounts for 15% of the cases. So it's important that if your infant shows signs of weakness, you take them to be evaluated by medical professionals immediately. In some cases, doctors can administer an effective antitoxin, but it can take babies weeks to a month to recover. The FDA recommends waiting until your baby's first birthday to feed them honey or any products that are filled or dipped in honey. There you go. a little factual information on businessinsider.com. So you can look it up for yourself or Google it. One more thing. One of the worst situations that's happening right now here in Oregon is they're trying to make raising cows or animals for a food source illegal. Okay? Yeah, you heard me right. Raise cows, you have to live them, they have to live out their full life. Or you will be fined if you kill them and consume them for food, and you can't sell them for food like you can now. So seriously, cows, pork, poultry, I wouldn't be surprised if they add goldfish. But it's illegal, or at least what they're trying to do right now is make it illegal to raise meat for your own food consumption. I'm not kidding. Look it up. I can't wait to get to Texas. But, you know, again, it is going to be, or I should say it is bittersweet that we are leaving this beautiful state. I mean, it took me until the sun going down in order to get it accomplished, but this is one of the most beautiful states that, you know, if you've never been to Oregon, you might want to pop in really quick and pop out. It's definitely not a place that I recommend staying if you're into, you know, loving your country and being free, because I'm telling you, the leadership here in this state is messed up.
Please hang up and try again.
Coke, you know, hardcore drugs are being approved, you know, are being legalized. Straws? Nope, illegal to have a straw. Plastic bag, you know, I'm just going to throw a few out here just so you understand. Plastic bags were outlawed, but for some reason they felt as though that wasn't working for them. So what'd they do? They started printing on the exact same plastic bags that they were outlawing, reusable, and they started giving them out again. Okay. Now all of a sudden the reusable's gone and plastic bags are back in full force. Property taxes. They're wanting to double property taxes. Gas prices. Jack it up. Close down all the businesses. Keep the corporates open. Mom and pops, nope, forget about it. Increase to $15 an hour minimum wage. You know, for those out there that understand economics, you know where that leads. Building materials, perfect example. Building materials. I used to buy a 2x4 for $1.88, $2, something like that. Now, I think I just spent $7, $8 a 2x4. And if you talk to them, it's still going up, still going up. The housing market. Housing market is nuts, okay? Why? No inventory, because everybody in the cities, especially Portland, and I'm sure most of you have seen what's going on here in Portland. Portland is a very dangerous place to live. And it's because lawlessness runs rampant. The police are disarmed, told not to confront. Go downtown, you'll see all the carnage, all the buildings boarded up, you will see the homeless rate that is overtaking the streets. Now, I don't know if most of you know or not, but Julie and I had a nonprofit organization called Operation Off the Grid, where we went out and we helped the homeless, and we handed out hygiene products and clothing and things that could help them, you know, live a better life on the streets. But unfortunately, it got too dangerous. Julie almost got jumped one day, and thankfully we have a lot of friends out there. And at this one particular camp, a lot of our friends came to the rescue of her. I was over, you know, helping and chatting with, you know, a group of individuals while Julie was with another. And unfortunately, there are people that are wandering out there in the streets that shouldn't be, okay? They're dangerous. And we are trained to spot them, but we did not see this particular individual come into camp. And this individual beelined straight for her. Fortunately, nobody had to do anything, you know, nothing got physical, but that pretty much ended it for us. And one last shout out to our veterans and our first responders. You guys are heroes. Say it every time, have to, because it's like somebody's got to say it, because you guys are under attack by everyone, right? You guys are rock stars. And the NRA, you guys have to understand, the NRA is doing all they can to keep this country safe. Support the NRA. Become a member. Donate. Talk to your friends and family. You have to understand, our Second Amendment was created for a reason. And they're making that reason stick. Okay? Thanks for watching our video. Our next video is going to be our farewell to our homestead. And in that video, you're going to understand why it's taken almost 5 months to close our property during this CV situation. And you'll understand why we're still here. But, you know, the way that we look at things is when things seem to be an inconvenience, we try to stay open-minded, and we realize that it could be God redirecting us to where we're not supposed to be at a certain place at a certain time in order for our well-being. So that's the way that we're looking at it. Maybe 5 months earlier, if we would have hit the road, who knows what would have happened out there, you know, RVing. There is some incredible people out there. And you see, in a way, they're living their life in a way that I promote. Self-sufficiency, off the grid, and yes, they do have a machine or a trailer in order to live, but off-grid products are one of the main staples of survival. So, thank you again. Love y'all. You got those individuals out there that can read, do not operate without covers, and say good enough. And they don't operate it without covers. Then you got guys like me and who I grew up with. You know, it's just not as fun following instructions all the time. We're more like, hold my beer! Gonna get her done! Look at that bad boy. Let me sample this. Now this is honeycomb, bugs, bees. Look at that guy.
He's got honey stuck all over him.
He's honey coated.
Here.
He's a honey pop.
What's that? What was that?
Okay, I'm not going to...
You better start over again, Scott.
No, just...
Yes, you
What? That wasn't me.
All right, start over again. Was that you?
The dog's out there squeezing cheese, and you guys blame me, and I'm sitting here holding the camera.
He is here. I thought.
We don't call this work. This is a fun hobby. You know, it's like yesterday.
It's sticky.
Sometimes it's fun to be sticky.
You're gonna might have to bleep that out.
More fun that way.